Good afternoon, YouTube friends and family. This is Laura, and today I'm going to talk about difficult conversations. And I guess you say, Laura, what do you mean by difficult conversations? Well, difficult conversations are those conversations that you need to have with someone to express how you feel, to express a change that needs to be made. It is a way of communicating in order to bring about a win-win situation for both parties involved. Now, how befitting for me to be here at the dog park and talking about difficult conversations. Difficult conversations, also known as confrontations, right? Well, if you've ever seen two dogs go at it when there's a confrontation, both dogs get really close to each other. They stand toe to toe. Their tails are stiff. The hairs on the back of their head is lifted up. And they're standing toe to toe, neck to neck, and not even a muscle moves. Because you know what? If even just one makes a move, flinches, then we all know what happens. And so, no, I'm not here today to film a dog fight. But I am here to talk about confrontation. And my friend, confrontation is a necessary element of life. Um, it's not negative. A lot of times when we say the word confrontation, it has a negative connotation to it, but it's not negative. It's a way of communicating your dissatisfaction with something, a need for change, to create a win-win situation for all parties involved. Now, confrontation does not mean yelling, screaming, arguing. Confrontation is a civilized mode of communicating and expressing thoughts, one person to another. Now, we've all had those difficult conversations, and for most of us, we don't like confrontation. And so we attempt to avoid confrontations at all costs. Now, how do we have a confrontation and remain level headed? How do we have those difficult conversations? How do we negotiate with others in a non aggressive manner? Well, communication is a two-way street. It involves both listening and talking. And then there's a third element, there's the body language part. Now, when tensions between two people arise, and when you put two human beings in a situation together, there's bound to be some sort of tension. Someone is not going to agree with something. So, what is the process or what are some steps that we can take to ensure that this difficult conversation can be had without leading to a fight or an argument, or without us losing our temper or losing our head? Now, the Bible tells us in the book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 3, it says, "How can two walk together unless they agree?" So I'm going to just give you a few tips that I've used that have worked for me. By no means are these all inclusive. I'm quite sure you can add something to the list and do so as you see fit. The first one on the list is to choose a time. Choose a time when things are less tense between all parties involved. After everybody has cooled down, everybody's level headed. Sometimes before you um, breach a subject to someone or broach a subject to someone, sometimes it's best to pick a place and just to hold out a little bit and wait till everyone has cooled down, when everyone can think, with a level head and tempers and emotions are not involved. Um, so the first one was choose a time. The next one is choose a place. I'm sorry. Um, and choosing a place involves a place where you can talk without interruptions, a meeting place, somewhere on mutual ground. It does not involve texting or emailing, because emotions and intentions can be misconstrued whenever you're texting and emailing. So, but you can make a phone call or you can meet in a mutual satisfactory place. The third thing I have on the list is before you have this difficult conversation, breathe. Take a deep breath. A deep breath is cleansing. A deep breath works wonders. So breathe. The next one I have on the list is to be prepared. And what do I mean by that? Think about the situation from all angles. If you have to, take a pen and paper and write down all the pros and cons. Always make sure that you're going after a win-win situation for everyone. That should always be your desired outcome. And always be prepared with a peaceful resolution. Now, there's a second part to this being prepared. You also have to be prepared to deal with any responses that the other party may give you. You have to be able to deal with any counter responses, the rebuttal. And so always make sure that for this preparation that you have your talking points available too. It's always good to write down what you're going to say, so that you can stay on task. Because it's real easy when you're trying to have a difficult conversation, um, to veer off task. To keep a relaxed body posture while having this conversation, because body language is a part of communication. Use lots of I statements, because when you start saying you, then that makes people get on the defensive. And so make sure to use lots of I statements. If you must say something negative, always start off with 2 to 3 positives and then add the negative. Make sure that you are listening. Make sure that you think before you respond, but don't make the mistake of listening to respond. Hear the person, let them say what they need to say, and then respond accordingly. And it's okay for there to be a little bit of silence while you contemplate your response. Always remember to never force your will off on anyone. And if things start to get heated, retreat and agree to come back and discuss it later. Also remember that if things start to get off track, to pull it back on track by referring back to your talking points. Importantly, remember to agree to disagree. And last but not least, express yourself. Say what you need to say. Say it respectfully, but say what you need to say. It's your right. You've earned the right to say what you need to say. And my friend, you'll feel better. You'll take a load off. Well, my friends, thanks for listening. That's all I have for you today. Go ahead and have a blessed and wonderful day. Have those difficult conversations that you need to have. It's well worth it. And until we meet again, as always, bye-bye, my friends. Oh, also remember to, if you enjoy the content, to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and share. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.